Hi, Royce Morales, transformational facilitator, spiritual teacher, radio show host on healthylife.net. And today I want to continue talking to you about reincarnation. And I want to really focus in on those relationships, those soul level relationships that we have. And sometimes they just don't make sense. We just suddenly know somebody, we don't know how, we feel this instant connection with somebody and we don't know why. We're in a relationship and we can't seem to end it. There's problems all the time with it, and it just doesn't make sense to us. And there's a reason for that. A lot of the relationships that we have are continuations from past life experiences. Maybe we did something to them in a past life, or they did something to us, and we're here to clean that up and to resolve that and to grow from that. A lot of times we choose our family. In fact, every lifetime, as I said in my last video about reincarnation, we choose everything about our life, whether it's our family, our parents, our friends, our spouses, our children. All of that is chosen on a spiritual, a soul level, because we're here to learn something, we're here to resolve something, we're here to clean something up with those people. So there are lots of very specific soul relationships that we have, and I'm going to talk about a few. I'm not going to get into all of them, but I'm just going to hit on the ones that are the most important. And perhaps you've heard discussions about some of these relationships. And I have my own way of, excuse me, of looking at them because of what I've experienced in doing past life regression work with myself. So the first one that I want to talk about, which I'm sure you've heard, is called soulmates. Soulmates. Now, I just have to say that it's probably not what you think. Soulmate relationships are literally a big soul divided into two for Earth living. So this particular relationship, I compare it to the yin yang. Usually they're very opposite in some way because they're here to learn two different things in physical bodies. So maybe one soul is here to learn about emotions and the other soul is here to learn about logic. So when this relationship comes together, which it sometimes does in a lifetime, it's like a mirror that you don't want to see because it's the aspects of yourself that are total opposite, polar opposite. Now, the false impression, excuse me, that people have about soulmates is that it's the arm in arm walking off into the sunset, blissful, romantic relationship. And from what I've experienced and from what a lot of my students have experienced, it's not like that most of the time, because your soulmate relationship is here to teach you things about yourself that you may not want to see. They're here to reflect to you the parts of yourself that you either haven't learned about or you're in denial of. So they might push all your buttons. I know when I met my soulmate, it was like, oh my gosh, this person is the biggest button pusher of my life. And yet there was such a strong attraction. It was like, oh my God, I just know him. I know who he is. And he knew who I was, but we couldn't quite come together on the level that I thought we were supposed to come together on. Now, continuing on that, a lot of times the soulmate relationship is not somebody that you ever even meet in a physical form. A lot of times they're in a spiritual realm, kind of assisting your growth in that way. Or they might just drop into your life for a minute or a day or a year or 5 years or whatever, just to wake you up. It's not unusual to have that happen. What I also find about soulmates is that because you're here to learn about your own power and your own purpose and who you really are, a lot of times you're not given, quote, that reward of connecting with your soulmate until you're really ready, until you have your own power, until you are complete with yourself. Because a lot of times we're out trying to find somebody to complete us. Consciously or subconsciously, we're doing that dance of please come fulfill me because I don't feel like I'm whole, you know. And on a spiritual level, that's kind of true because you did separate from that person. but you're here to get your own power so that you don't need anything external from you to complete you. And once you get to that point, you can reconnect with your soulmate, and it's okay that they're opposite of you, and they're okay with you being opposite, etc. So that's what the soulmate relationship is really about. And like I said, it's not what Hollywood portrays it to be at all most of the time. Now, not saying that all of the time, but most of the time, it's really just about waking you up to get back in touch with your power. The second relationship that I want to mention is twin souls, and that too has been bantered about lately, kind of incorrectly. But twin souls are two souls that basically start Earth living at the same time. So they're very similar. They have a very strong connection. There's not so much negative mirroring going on. So if you meet somebody and you just feel like, wow, we're just like exactly the same, it could be that they are your twin soul. Now, I have to say, because soul is infinite, you can have lots of twin souls. You can meet lots of people in your life that you feel this way about. But generally speaking, there is just that one person that you just feel that real strong connection with, and we're the same, and we're on this journey at the same point. Our evolution is the same, etc. Again, it may not be a romantic partner. It could be your best friend. It could be your parent. It could be your child, but there's that real strong connection. The third soul relationship that I want to mention, I call cycle mates. And what that person is a person that you're doing various cycles with. So maybe there's a cycle of your life where you're experiencing loss, and you go through this with this particular cycle mate. And when you're done going through it, they kind of go away, or maybe they stay around, but their purpose is to go through something really particular with you. And the last, actually, there's two more, soul family. This is a particular group of people that you have reincarnated with over and over and over again. And it just feels like a family. And it may not necessarily be your physical family. It could be a group of friends, or it could be your sorority, or it could be your whatever. It's just a group of people that seems to go through something repeatedly. And they could actually go through something traumatic repeatedly, like everybody that went through a plane crash together could be a soul family of some kind. Now, the last one that I want to mention, I call the sponsor soul. This is kind of like your guardian angel on earth, the person that is here to support your growth in some way, whatever that means. Maybe they're challenging you in some way, or maybe they're just here to hear you when you're going through something, but they're here to completely support your evolution in life. So let's talk about various levels of soul growth. And I have them written down because I want to make sure that I'm going over all of them. Now, what I mean by soul levels, basically, we are here to learn very specific lessons, as I keep saying, big ones, capital L, love, reach the point where, and I don't even like to use the word love because that has implications of romance and flowers and candy. But what the kind of love I'm talking about is unconditional acceptance, reaching the point where we don't have any buttons anymore. We're not judging, we're just accepting. That's what we're here to do. We're here to forgive ourselves. We're here to forgive others. We're here to reach that point of acceptance. We're here to be in our power, doing our purpose. Those are the big ones. However, not all of us are at that level of consciousness. We're here to get there. There are certain levels of consciousness that we have gone through, or perhaps are going through right now. And I want to describe them to you. As I'm going through these descriptions, don't judge yourself, please. And don't sit here and go, oh, that one is my mother and that one is my friend. And don't do that with this information. It's just interesting information to kind of see where you're at, hopefully inspire you to grow a little bit more, to get more in touch with what's preventing you from your growth. So just kind of hear it. It's interesting. The first level of soul I refer to as firstborn soul. Now, by the way, that doesn't imply that this is their first go round, their first rodeo, or their first lifetime. It could take hundreds of lifetimes to get past this level of firstborn soul. And this person operates almost exclusively from fear. Okay. It's all about their physical survival. It's all they care about. They might be violent or cruel. They don't understand right or wrong. They're probably very controlling and suppressive of other people because they are functioning from fear all the time. Very lower consciousness survival mechanism people. Okay. The second one I refer to, again, I'm putting these in quotes, as baby soul. This person operates basically from fundamentalism, right and wrong. It's either black or it's white. There's no gray area in between. They're very inflexible in their beliefs and attitudes. They might be drawn to a very fundamentalistic religion, etc. They're constantly blaming others and they constantly feel like a victim. Their biggest concern is getting approval from society and from others. So that's, oh, and one more thing I'm noticing on my list here is they might be taking very dramatic physical risks to, again, kind of prove something to the world. The third one I refer to as a young soul. Back when the word yuppie was in vogue, I used to call them yuppie souls, but young soul would work. This person is constantly trying to attain status by acquiring physical external things, money, cars, mansions, all of that stuff. They're probably involved in higher education. They have a really good high-paying job. They might be a workaholic. They might be very zealous about various causes, etc. Very critical, very judgmental of others, usually very intellectual types, that sort of thing. The fourth one I refer to as the adult soul, and one of the things that I call them sort of in fun is Joe Spiritual. This is a person that is like starting to understand spirituality, but they're intrigued by it out of curiosity. They might be attracted to it because they were told that, wow, if you're doing this, you can manifest things. It's all about getting things and that sort of thing. It is a transition from young soul and it is a step, but again, it's kind of using spirituality because it's fun, it's interesting, and I can manifest all kinds of things. A lot of times a person at this level gets disillusioned if they aren't able to manifest what they were promised to manifest in some of these disciplines that they're involved in. And of course, once they realize that maybe it's going to take some work to become authentically spiritual, they'll get disillusioned with it. Now, the next one I call mature soul. This is where they start the real inner journey work. For those of you that have watched some of my videos, you might be at this level and you're really starting to get that, yeah, it's going to take some work and I'm going to have to do some digging to get to this real spiritual place that she keeps talking about. So mature soul, they're committed, they're looking for the meaning of their life, they're starting to really want to know what their bigger purpose is. Simultaneously, a person at this level is probably starting to feel the sadness of the world. They're empaths. They're feeling the weight of all the stuff that's going on in the world. A lot of times they experience addictiveness, because of the pain that they're feeling in the world. They're probably very attracted to quiet spirituality, quiet faiths or religion. I would say every person I've ever worked with at this level had a very similar experience of feeling like an outcast as a child, like no one understood them, that sort of thing. That's a mature soul. They're searching, they're yearning. They may not even know what they're yearning or searching for, but they're searching. The next one I call old soul. Change my pages here. This person has experienced enough searching that they know exactly what they're searching for. They're searching for purposefulness, unconditional love, acceptance, all that stuff that I was talking about before. They don't feel like a victim anymore. They're taking full responsibility for their life. They're committed to resolving all the things that they're here to clean up. You know, they're kind of in touch with all of that. Maybe they've done some past life work and they're really seeing that, oh yeah, I did that thing in that lifetime and that's what I'm here to clean up. They're starting to again, be in touch with their purpose. Interestingly enough, what I've seen with people at this level is they probably are competent to do anything in their life, but they may choose something kind of easy so that they don't have to really focus on work, that they're more in touch with getting in touch with their spiritual nature. That's what their priority is. They're very expansive. They're non-dogmatic. They don't judge as black and white. They're able to see the bigger picture of things. They feel a very profound connection with other people and with the planet. And perhaps they're doing something about that. They're taking action to help others. And that's not unusual at all. Let's see, they're attracted to philosophy, creativity, beauty, you know, the creative arts, all of that stuff. Yeah, so I'm sure you get the idea. Now, the last one, for lack of a better name, I'm calling them a transcended soul. Sometimes they're referred to as an ascended master. This would be a person that they got it. They're absolutely higher consciousness, but they're choosing to be reincarnated in this physical life to assist other people. A lot of times they're, you know, a spiritual leader, but they're doing it very quietly. You know, something that is helping the world in a quiet way, or doesn't even necessarily have to be quiet, but it's not coming from their ego at all. Their buttons are gone, their past is cleaned up, they're doing their higher purpose, and they're doing it from a very pure place. They may not seek reincarnation in a physical form all the time, but like I said, if they do, they're here to do something important. So, something else to mention about a transcended soul. This is something that I learned listening to a Ram Dass lecture one time years ago. He said, somebody asked him, how can you tell if my guru is pure and a transcended, ascended master? And he looked at them and he said, look for the smile lines. They'll have a twinkle in their eye. And what I got from that response was that when you reach that point, you're able to see the cosmic joke of life. You're able to laugh at all of it. There's no heaviness about it. Oh my God, I'm here to help. You know, they're able to laugh and see the cosmic humor of all of it. Now, one more thing I want to say about all of these levels is, again, don't judge your friends, don't judge yourself. But I have found that a lot of times somebody from a very higher consciousness place can choose to come back to push everybody's buttons, to wake people up in a negative way. And it doesn't necessarily mean that they are at a lower level of consciousness. They're at such a higher level that they're choosing to do whatever it takes to wake people up. So that's what I wanted to say today about past lives, reincarnation, soul levels. If you want to work further and look deeper at your own life, reach out to me. I'm here. I can assist you. I do a lot of inner journeying work, inner adventures, as I call it, because it really is the most fascinating work you'll ever do in your life. You can reach me through my website, roycemorales.com. All my contact information is on the description of this video. And please subscribe and like so that you are told about the next videos that will be coming out every week. Thank you so much for being here, and keep up your amazing evolution.